Well, hey y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I am Susan, your hostess. We are doing a bonus video this week. So, my neighbors surprised me. They had more honey off of their beehive, and so they brought me over, and I'm going to show you real quick. I've got 3 bags like this that has the honeycomb, the waxed honeycomb in here. And I've got them sitting in a bucket because there's still some honey that was still coming out of the bags. So I've let them sit for about a day. I'm going to take these bags out of here, and we're going to extract the beeswax from this. But first I'm going to lift this up so you can see. That's the beeswax there, and I've got to wash it, and then I'm going to get it into some water and let it steep for a little while and try to separate the debris from the wax. I may have to go through this a couple of times because, and it can be quite sticky and messy because it has honey still attached to some of that wax. So we're going to try to wash this off and get it ready to go. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm just going to try to rinse some of that honey out of here. And I'm going to actually leave it in these bags because it'll make it easier for me to get some of that debris out of here. And he said he didn't want the bags back, so we've got the first bag pretty much rinsed. And I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to get that into the pot, but we'll figure that out in a moment. And I have some other pieces that he had given me before of beeswax, and I need to get that melted as well. So I'm going to stick it in one of these bags. We're going to get this stuff melted down to have beeswax on hand for projects around our homestead. And I hope to be sharing some of those with y'all in the future. And this one is kind of dirty looking, so this one may be the one that takes the longest to get clean. Now there may be baby bees in here and other debris, but we're going to try to get it as clean as we possibly can. And this is the big bag. He did a fairly good job of getting the honey off of it. So he's a new beekeeper. And it is a wonderful honey that we are getting off of this. He's given me a couple of jars of his honey, and it's very tasty. It's as local as you can get. So I'm going to finish rinsing this off. And we're going to get this into that pot. Now, this is my first time doing this, so it may take me a couple of times. It might be trial and error for a little while, but we're going to try to get this done quickly. I may just go ahead and just transfer all of the beeswax over to one bag. And we'll go from there. Because these are a type of nylon, so I don't know how well they're going to work with me doing it that way. And there is I see a lot of debris in here. So we'll do the best we can with working on this. And I'm just going to rinse it until I start seeing clear water running below. And it looks like it's getting there now. So I rinsed this in warm water, not hot water, but warm water. That's what it looks like inside the bag. I don't know if you can see that very well, but that's what it looks like inside the bag. And I'm just going to go ahead and try to get all of this into one bag. And if I can salvage the bags, I'm going to salvage them. Use them for other projects around our homestead, because I'm sure these are quite costly. So there's a lot of the propolis and other things in this wax right now. And this is a byproduct of beekeeping. So we're going to do the best we can to salvage this. I've got that bag pretty much cleaned out. This one doesn't have that much in it. We're going to figure this out together, folks. Now, I'm hoping to get a used crock pot to do this in the future. That way I'm not messing up a pot or anything, and this pot that I'm going to be using will be designated specifically for the melting of the beeswax. So I've got all of that into the bag. Can y'all see that? And these are the pieces that he gave me earlier this year that I had to wash because he did not get everything out of it. You see the little black specks and stuff? Well, that'll come out. I've washed this again, and that will actually come out when I melt the wax. And hopefully we can get all of this clean wax done and have some beautiful wax to work with around the homestead. And I'm super, super excited about getting free beeswax from my neighbor. So I've got quite a big bag here. Can y'all see all of that? That is a lot of wax there. So we're going to try to get this melted and see what we do with it. I'm going to have to buy me a new strainer, but I'm going to use this strainer on top of the pot. I'm going to go ahead and turn my water on. You want it on a low temperature. And I'm going to set the bag right in there, and I've got a lid I'm going to put on this to melt that down. And so that way it's not in the water, and hopefully I can just lift this up out of there and all the debris will be in that bag and I'll have some clean wax. Now, like I said, I may have to do this a couple of times to really get some good clean wax. So I've got a lid on this. I've got it set on about a 4 on my electric stove. And we're going to go from there, and we'll check back here in a few minutes, see how it does. We are dripping wax, so that's a good thing. Okay, folks, that looks pretty good to me. I'm going to try to clean off a little bit more of this scum. And we're going to allow this to cool, and then I will be back when we have wax if I don't need to reheat this. If I need to reheat this, then I will be back anyway to let you know that I had to go through it a second time. But I think we're going to have a pretty good first run, it looks like. I am not seeing a lot of debris in here. I am just removing that bubbly scum off of the top as much as possible. I really don't see anything floating in there. That's just the scum that's coming off the top. So we're going to allow this to cool, and we shall see how much wax we get out of it. It looks like it's a pretty good run. Alright, so I put this in the refrigerator just to harden this up so I can get it out of here. The water's still kind of warm. And you can see I've got a few beads floating around and some holes in the wax on the top. I'm going to lift it out and then we're going to come back. That's how nasty the water looks underneath. And here is my piece of wax. I am going to have to wash this once it's cooled, and then I'll see if it needs some more filtering through with the water process. I'm going to flip it over. You can see the underside is kind of nasty looking. But I think if we do it one more time, we'll get all that debris out of here. And I may use an old t-shirt, you know, just to cut this up and put it in an old t-shirt. It is thin, but it is wax. So I think we did pretty good for our first try. What do y'all think? Let me know in comments. And thank you, everybody, for watching, and may you be fully blessed.